And away we go. It is the Nightcap, brought to you by Galactic Fried Chicken right here on BearcatJournal.com, www.galacticfriedchicken.com. Go to the website. They will deliver right to your front door, pretty much anywhere inside the 275 loop, or head down to Dayton, Kentucky. Tell them to pump it up, and they will save you 15% off of the Galactic goodness. It is out of this world. All right, Aaron. I thought Dave and I had a really good conversation tonight on where college sports is at in the current landscape, where it is headed. Is it a good thing where it's headed? And we stayed away from this so you and I could touch on it tonight on this here Nightcap. But there's a lot of information starting to come out. There is apparently a soft deadline that decisions have to be made by mid-March. We've seen how that works with this group of people. But Ross Dillinger and Pete Thamel, or Ross Dillinger from USA Today, is that where he's at now?
Yeah, Yahoo.
Or Yahoo, yeah. And then Pete Thamel and Heather Dinich from ESPN. A 14-team college football playoff has quote-unquote momentum, is the ESPN headline. We have not had a single season of the 12-team playoff.
It's been a month. Not even 2 weeks. 2 weeks since they voted on it unanimously.
And let's just clear this up for people that are curious. So there was a window, there was a possibility that none of this was going to happen until 2026, which is when the new TV deal comes up. But then the people that are making these decisions got their head out of their ass and moved it up to a 12-team playoff in 2024. Followed by something new in 2026 when the TV contract was renegotiated and everything was kind of reset on the original timeline. So that's why there is 12 now. There is something new that is coming in 2026 that very clearly is going to be different. I still would not be shocked to see it go to 16 teams, but it appears like for now they have settled on 14 teams. And the news today was very interesting. So I will let Aaron got upset. I'll pull back the curtain a little bit. Aaron got upset tonight that he thought Dave and I were going to take this topic from him for this show. He was visibly, you could see him stewing as Dave and I were going through like show prep for the BCJ pod. Like, you guys aren't going to let me talk about this. I'm gonna have to find something else. I'm gonna have to talk about something that I'm not pissed off about. But no, Aaron, we saved it. We didn't really touch on it. We glossed over it in the overarching, system. But 14-team playoff appears to be on the horizon. Aaron, go.
Well, I want to go back to what it's been probably 6-8 weeks or so since the NCAA asked the Big 12 and the SEC to kind of run the show.
Right.
Weird that now all of a sudden we have a 12-team playoff and now a 14-team playoff that is apparently on the horizon, as they're also looking at getting out of the NCAA, and we'll get into that later.
That's why the big now we get the real answer on why the NCAA is like, hey, like, if you guys want, you can cheat. You can sleep with whoever you want. I'm gonna be right here. Like, just don't leave me. Don't leave
Old
me.
Faithful. Old Faithful.
You can do whatever you want. I'm okay with it. Everything is fine as long as you stay. We can make this work, baby. We can make this work.
Are you calling the NCAA a cuck?
That's what that is. It not what this made very clear today, Aaron? Am I wrong on that?
I'm just saying. That all said, the format that they're looking at would include 3 Big 12 teams, 3 SEC teams, 2 ACC teams, 2 Big 12
Big 12,
teams.
yeah.
And
one group of 5.
Group of 5.
That gets you
3
to
at large.
11. 3 at large.
And
if I'm the Big 12, I'd go on, take the money and run. Ooh, ooh, ooh.
It's just garbage, though, that if you had a good season, that you have to look for one of the at large, while maybe as a conference, while maybe the SEC or the Big Ten has chronically overrated, as we see in bowl season. Big Ten, especially in bowl season,
the SEC
more often
they win the championship every year, so calling them overrated doesn't.
I'm leaning more.
I know.
Big Ten in that regard.
Yeah,
but I just don't understand that they're also slated to get more of the money because of that, where they would get somewhere, I believe, between 25 and 40% of the money that would be. I know they had the actual percentages, but
they had estimated percentages.
Yeah, right. If I'm Notre Dame, though, I'm sweating bullets, because you would have to be either one of the 3 at large, which that's not necessarily the easiest thing in the world. Although with their scheduling,
it is in a sense. Remember, the 3 at large are just going to be the 3 teams that are rated the highest out of the non-automatic qualifiers, because I think that's an important word that you missed. 3 SEC automatic qualifiers, 3 Big Ten automatic qualifiers, and then 2 from the ACC that are automatic, 2 from the Big 12 that are automatic, and 1 from the group of 5 that are automatic. Will you two relax? I'm trying to do a nice. My goodness.
They're mad too.
I understand. My question is, Aaron, why the hell would we have a conference championship game if there's 3 automatic qualifiers from 2 leagues and 2 automatic qualifiers? So you know what that sets up, right? That sets up a world where you play for your conference championship, you lose, and the team that finishes 3rd qualifies automatically above you, because then the computers like them more, or the committee likes them more, or whatever the case may be. And now, or even worse, the 2 teams that play in the SEC championship game automatically qualify. So that game doesn't matter. The 2 teams that play in the Big Ten championship game automatically qualify. That game doesn't matter. Those are massive cash grabs that you're just now tossing out the window.
If you're a player potentially sitting out one of those 2 games, which one which one are you sitting out? Because I'm probably sitting out the conference, or the conference championship.
If you're a coach, why would you play anyone that matters in the conference championship game?
Because you probably are going to have plenty of incentive in your contract to win that game.
Sure. But I'm saying, if your goal, look, as we know, there are some people whose goal is to win a national championship come hell or high water.
Sure.
Those people are wired a little different than I'm going to take my $1.5 million SEC conference championship bonus.
They also have plenty of things that are already paid for, like their home.
But yeah, of course. But then the conference championship games don't matter. Nobody cares.
I don't understand why you would even have them, truthfully.
Right. Well, I do understand why you would have them, because there's hundreds of millions of dollars locked up in airing them and playing them. That's why. And guess what? Schools like their money. Well, they don't like to give it out to anybody else, but they like getting it.
If any of these idiots had a lick of sense, that would be part of your playoff.
Right.
It would be part of your fucking playoff. Right. Especially if you're going to have what it comes down to is the SEC and the Big Ten are getting entirely too greedy, and they want all 3 teams to get to the next round, to where they have more teams in that second round, as opposed to, well, we're automatically going to take one out.
Mm-hmm. Here was the to me the most important part of all of the reporting that we saw today. And this is from the ESPN article with our guy Pete Thamel and Heather Dinich, who I don't really care for. One high-ranking official involved in the discussions told ESPN on Wednesday that the presidents and chancellors in both the SEC and Big Ten are having conversations about whether to continue their NCAA membership. It's a move that would impact and could possibly derail the TV agreement, the $1.3 billion a year TV agreement from ESPN. Those conversations are happening, the source said, adding some feel pretty strongly about pulling away. I'd say very strongly. The storm is coming, sir.
Well, how do you get more money from ESPN in this instance? It's to pull out of the NCAA and disregard the contract with ESPN to go to a contract with both ESPN and Fox and have them vying for the same product and get more money from both networks.
Well, the major difference being you wouldn't share 20% or 15% with the ACC, 15% with the Big 12, 10% or whatever it would be with the group of five. You would just say, this is all of our money between the two of us, and the rest of you can kiss our ass.
Good luck.
Get out. Yeah. Go get your own deal for your own championship, your own Big 12, ACC, group of five deal.
If that wasn't already the writing on the wall, the paragraph, the section, I guess, where they talked about how they don't want to have to get unanimous votes for any changes anymore. They essentially want to be able to bully around whoever they want without having to get all of the 10 FBS commissioners on board for a decision anymore. They want
what we don't want is one person or two people that don't like what we want to do and them having the ability to stop us. We want to make sure that if it's what we think is best for us, that the rest of you idiots don't matter.
And that's where this gets probably the most messy and the most this makes my blood boil, because this essentially is going to be the SEC and the Big Ten making backroom deals with people, and as if that doesn't already happen. But
newsflash, Aaron, I got news for you, buddy.
if you don't agree in those back rooms now, though,
you're out.
They got you.
Yeah,
they got you.
You can go do your own thing, and we're going to kick your ass anyway.
Bye, Sunbelt. We didn't need you.
Yeah.
Yet somehow Vanderbilt is still in the midst of all of this.
By ACC, we didn't need you. But what we did, we needed North Carolina and Virginia and Florida State and Clemson. They can come over here. Red Rover, get your ass over here and make triple your money.
Right. I don't know. This whole thing is, I feel like we talk often about how different groups of people, especially in college athletics, have gotten out over their skis. I think this is the entire SEC and Big Ten getting out over their skis and everything, not looking for the greater good of college football as we know,
they don't care.
Know it.
They care about the greater good of the SEC and the Big Ten. That's all they
everything that we knew, that we once knew as children, that's been long gone. But what we knew as adults is going to be long gone. And when we are approaching our twilight, this product is not going to be anything that it used to be or represent to any of us.
If it starts to slide, they'll scramble and they'll readjust and say,
they do everything reactionary, though. They could be so
of course.
They could be so proactive, and instead they've been reactionary and greedy and gross.
College, let's face it, people want to talk about, like, they bring up, like, what it was like Cincinnati in the early 90s, mid 90s with Huggins. Look what Cincinnati was able to do in the Great Midwest. Well, at that point in time, The Great Midwest wasn't that different than everybody else.
Right.
When Conference USA started, Conference USA wasn't that different than everybody else. Because the Big Ten and the SEC, sure, they were making more money, but they weren't making 10 times the money, 5-10 times the money at a rate that they're making. I mean, think about, if I've got $50, Aaron, and you've got $5, who's going to have a better day? It ain't you.
More often than not, unless you can figure out a way how to stretch that dollar.
It ain't you, brother. It ain't you. You might save up. You might save up to where, you only spend $2 a day for 10 days. And now you got a 30 spot where you can have a great day on that 30 spot. But I get 50 every day.
I was going to say that $5 can get you that bag deal at Wendy's, but now they're going to have surge prices. Now they're going to have surge prices. So what the hell are we doing?
Don't get me started on that. Fast food places are molesting people on the prices that they're charging right now. $10 for a shitty cheeseburger, cold fries, and a 14-cent fountain drink. And it's $10, and now you're going to surge price? Anyhow.
By the way, you have to put your own order in.
Yeah, you got to order it yourself on the app.
Or even in store with the big giant screen.
Yeah. I love the grocery store. Why I go through the line. I think we've talked about this. I go through the line 90% of the time. Unless the lines are really long and it just makes sense. I've got 4 items and I can go over to the self-checkout. No, I pay. Part of what I pay for is you to bag my shit. It's in the cost. It's built in.
We're so far off the rails.
I know. But that's college sports. That's where college sports is going.
Off the rails.
There's surge price in college sports, Aaron. The SEC and the Big Ten are look, we're you're going to have to pay more to watch our games.
I was going to say, if they get out of this deal with ESPN, and if they don't make a deal with both networks, they can go just the route of, we're going to have our own network, and you're going to have to pay a premium to subscribe. That's not part of your normal cable package.
Well, the Big Ten already does that for the most part.
Well, so does, essentially.
The SEC has their own network. It's just that the SEC network is run by ESPN, and the Big Ten network is run by Fox.
And Big 12 has the ESPN Plus.
Right. It's. I told you guys this was coming. I thought it would go to 16 immediately. It's going to go to 14, and then it'll go to 16 eventually, because they're going to guess what they're going to add, Aaron? They'll add
more SEC and Big 12
right.
teams.
We need a 4th SEC and Big 10 automatic qualifier for this to really hit the way that we want it to hit.
Oh yeah. Well, got to get that California market in somehow.
I don't like where this is headed, man. I don't like where this is headed. That's a nightcap. We'll see you tomorrow night talking some Big 12 Thursday. What a crazy week in the Big 12. We'll be back tomorrow night. We'll see you then. This is the Nightcap, brought to you by Galactic Fried Chicken, right here on BearcatJournal.com.
Fuck the Big 12 and the SEC. See ya!
The Big 10, Aaron. You said the Big 12.